The Madoff Case, the biggest scam in history. To start, who is Bernard Madoff?
Bernard Madoff was one of the most active investors of the last 50 years and considered the sole manager of one of the biggest financial scams. Was arrested by the FBI after confessing that his business was a giant Ponzi scheme that caused losses of $50 million. Probably now you are wondering what a Ponzi scheme is. Well, the promised rentability is paid with the money of the new investors that join, so the system works only if the number of new investors is constantly growing. But how did Madoff manage to sell smoke? Madoff guarantees rentabilities between 8 and 12%, no matter what happens on the stock market. His great reputation and the attractive product allowed Madoff smoke to be so popular between the great millionaires. And why the pyramid fell? The main reason was the economic crisis. On the one hand, most of the investors began to claim their money when the crisis arrived. On the other hand, the crisis made harder and harder to convince new investors, so the pyramid fell, unveiling one of the largest financial scams ever made.
And the ethics, what paper does play in this case? In this case, we see the absence of business ethics by Madoff, the fact of performing a scam. It implies the involvement of third parties and society in general. This is a clear sign of a deterioration of morale. In which ethical condition would the Madoff business be classified? This company with a pyramidal system was ethically ill because the decision made by Madoff, paying over and fruit, were wrong and financially destroyed third parties who were involved. Madoff didn't put himself in the place of those affected when making the decision to use his reputation in the creation of this Ponzi system. To make decisions must take into account what is known as the 3E: efficiency, effectiveness, and ethics. In the case, Madoff badly focused his desires of efficiency and effectiveness when creating his business, since he didn't consider the third E, the ethics. Did Madoff's company have tools and procedures for business ethics? The answer is no. There was never an organizational culture in which they were established values of the company. The Madoff's company never had ethics codes to indicate the way of acting of employees. Nor was there any type of channel through which the information that was being obtained from the practices carried out by the company was communicated. Nor were there any managers, bosses, or ethical committees, because Madoff was the one who always had the last word. As for the audit, accounting, and reporting, in the Madoff's company didn't develop financial reports that reflect the operations of the company. But everything that has happened has been learned, and now these companies give much more importance to business ethics because with this, organizations generate more value.
But finally, what happened to the main interest groups? On the one hand, the employees of the company were dismissed. On the other hand, the main regulatory agency of the United States stock markets did not detect the fraud, and because of that, it lost credibility and even came to say that they were accomplices of the fraud. And Bernard Madoff's relatives and friends suffered not only economic losses, but many also had to face trials because they were presumed to be involved in the fraud. One of the most remarkable cases was that Mark Madoff, who could not bear the pressure of the accusations, ended up committing suicide. But can you get something positive of all of this? Yes, we can, because after the biggest scam, new rules were drafted, the inspections were increased, and the gaps that Madoff used were removed. And to what conclusion can we reach? The conclusion is that managers have to be better people, because actually, there is a serious crisis of values, and as a moral, this must serve as a precedent for not recommit mistakes and excesses from the past.
Presented by Inés Jiménez, Jaime Herrera, Sebastián Delgado Muñoz, in the subject of professional ethics, Universitat Valencia.